Electronic Jane's videos, and today I am doing an unboxing and review and setup and all that good stuff on the Halloween City Party City. It's both 2022 Lava Demon. This guy is one of my favorite animatronics of the season. If you know me, you know that I absolutely love demons for Halloween, and I feel like this guy might be one of the coolest demons possibly ever made, because he is super cool. He's got all the features of a classic Halloween devil with the horns. He's completely red. He's got hooves. He's got the tail. Wow, I'm excited to get into it. First off, he's got a really big box, which kind of upsets me because I like small boxes for storage purposes. But I mean, it's not the biggest I've ever seen. It's just kind of big, but I think it's mostly because of his tail, because his tail is massive. We are gonna open this guy up. I've already taken a look at his head earlier. I kind of cheated because Mac really wanted to see it and I really wanted to see it too. And it looks like that's actually gonna be the first thing that we pull out. That's the thing on top here. So that's gonna be the first thing we even pull out. So you guys are gonna get to see it right now. Bam, there's his head, which also has the fog tube attached to it, because I did not mention this guy. Also, the box is very plain. It's literally just got a decal on the front and then one side. There's not much to it. There's the head. Wow, that's cool. That is really, really cool. I love it. I just love the look of this guy, which is why I like him so much. Now, he's a hard plastic, as you can see. However, his teeth and his tongue are kind of like it's either a soft plastic or kind of a rubber. Yeah, I know it's not latex, but it's like a soft plastic with rubber. Also got a super long fog tube, which I think I already mentioned, but it comes from his head because the fog comes out of his horns. There's little holes in the tops of the horns there where you can see that. But here's his cloak, which is really good quality, which is something I really like. It's a very good quality, and it's also well detailed. Like, it's not just straight red. It's got like some black detailing in there. It looks very shiny, which I really like. It definitely solidifies the ember type vibe. That cloak is really cool, and it's very, very good quality as well. We've got the adapter as well as the instructions, which he should be hopefully a pretty simple setup because he's an SVI animatronic, and those are usually very simple. I've noticed something funny. I don't know if you guys have noticed this. Almost every animatronic I've gotten this year is SVI. Granted, I have gotten a few that aren't, like Psycho Sam, Reagan, pretty sure all the, and Oogie Boogie, but all the other ones I've gotten this season are SVI ones. But what can I say? SVI is my favorite retail company. They always make some of my favorite things. Here are his hooves, which one of my favorite parts about him is the fact that he has hooves. His other leg is right here. These look really cool. Now, surprisingly, these are kind of a see-through plastic too, even though these don't have a light in them, so that's kind of interesting that those are a see-through plastic. What else can we get out here? Let me take out his whole module. Okay, this is one reason that the box is so big, is for this gigantic torso piece with his, you've got his IR sensor, you've also got his fog adapter, all that stuff. He's just got basic side-to-side turning, but the thing I like about him is how cool he looks. I didn't really get it for the animation, I just think he looks cool. Also, the fog is a nice touch, but even if it wasn't for that, I think that would be great. There's an arm. There's some holes. And a very interesting piece right here. I don't know what this is. I'm not going to show you guys the poles because that's just basic poles, but I do want to show you guys this weird piece that's in here. This is really weird looking. I don't know what this is, so we might need the instructions for this guy. Usually SVI things are pretty straightforward, but we might need the instructions for this guy simply because I don't know where this is going to go. I have no clue what this is. This might be for his tail. This is probably for his tail. Most likely. Okay, that makes more sense. Probably still use instructions on him though, just to be sure. There's the giant hands. These hands are huge. I didn't even mention this guy's 7.5 feet tall, so he's a pretty big animatronic. But there's his hands, which those light up too, so they have some wires coming from him. Oh, that looks so cool. Like, I just love how he's completely red. It's awesome. There's the other hand. This is something I would usually say it's a leg pull, but it does not look like a leg pull. This is probably an arm pull. Yep. I already pulled another one out and I just didn't notice I pulled it out. So well. Here's his base. There's still one more piece in here, but I saved it for last because usually I'd save the head for last, but that was right on top. So we're gonna save the next cool piece for last. This awesome tail. Holy cow, that is huge. That thing is huge. Here is the lava demon fully set up, and he is an absolutely massive, massive animatronic. Like, this guy is really big, and he's much bigger than he looks in the store for sure. He is almost 8 feet tall, I'd say. The box says he's 7.5, and I'd say that's right. Definitely taller than Spirit Halloween's Baphomet from last year, if you want a size comparison to another big demon prop. He's absolutely taller, and he's also just bigger with his width. His width is really big, and also, what I will show in a moment, his tail sticks out really, really far. But other than his size, which is monstrous and awesome, as I think a demon should be, he looks really cool. You can see he's got an awesome color scheme, all red and black, exactly what I think a demon's color scheme should be. He looks like your classic Halloween demon, and more than just a demon, he looks like the devil in a way. And I think he's just so cool. He's got those giant horns, his fangs are super cool, his eyes, his pointy ears, his whole head looks awesome, and you can tell it looks kind of volcanic in a way, since he is the lava demon. His hands also have that volcanic type appearance to them, and his hands are very large with his long red nails. I love the positioning they're in, gives him a lot of character, and the positioning his arms are in too. He's got a black rope that wraps around his waist, as you can see. Also, I don't know if you can really tell too much, but the black spots on him, I believe, are supposed to look like burn marks. So on his robe, I think that's supposed to look like, you know, it was burnt by his flames or whatever, which looks really awesome. I also want to mention his cloak is really great quality, which is a good thing. It's not the same fabric that most things have, and it's also very shiny, which I like because it creates, I wouldn't really say when he's lighting up, because the head and hands only light up, but I would say when you have a red or an orange light shining on him, it creates a more fiery type appearance because of how shiny and kind of crinkly the robe looks, which I think is a great touch. As I already mentioned, something I really like about this guy is that he has hooves, which is the first time we've seen hooves on a demon animatronic apart from Krampus, but he is a licensed animatronic. I'm talking general demon animatronic. It's the first time we've seen hooves on one, which is awesome. And that's one of my favorite things about him. I think his hooves look great. However, it's also a complaint I have. His cloak, because it's tattered like that, it doesn't reach the top of where his hooves stop, which looks pretty bad. And I would say it's one of my major complaints with this thing. I don't know why they did that. You would assume when they had it in production, they would have noticed that it doesn't reach down to there. You can position it to reach down, but as soon as he turns on, it's gonna kind of slide back up with his movement, so it doesn't really help. Luckily, if you're not looking down at his hooves, it's not too noticeable. However, his hooves are one of the coolest features on him that you're probably gonna notice them, and then you'll notice that his poles are showing a little bit there. I wouldn't say it takes away from the animatronic as a whole, but it is something that they could have definitely done better. Look at that tail. That thing is insane. It is so long, it sticks out so far, and it's so big too. Like the little arrowhead part on the back of it is massive, and the whole tail is massive. It also looks great. It's got that same volcanic type appearance that the rest of him has, and it just looks super, super cool. I love that he has a tail. Like I mentioned, the reason this guy is one of my favorite demon props is because he encompasses so many things of a classic Halloween demon. To his face, to his hooves, to his tail. I think it's awesome. Only thing that would have made him even better is if he had wings. That would have been so cool.
Let me show you the cozy warmth of the underworld's fiery abyss of eternal suffering. I'll see you in your dreams. Your soul is mine. You will burn in the fiery pits for an eternity.
Overall, I think the Lava Demon is a really, really cool animatronic. He's got a basic animation, however the lava effect is really cool, and though I did not show it in this video, the fog that is supposed to come out of the horns, because he does do that, fog comes out of the horns synchronized with the audio, is a really cool touch, and I'm excited to get that tested out. Even though I didn't do it in this video, I hope to make a demo video some point in the season with that. Testing it out, because I feel like that's gonna look really awesome and it's a cool touch. So he's got some really cool features to him. Also, though his phrases are kind of basic, I like it because I like the delivery on them. I like his voice. I think his laugh is pretty cool. There's some points where it sounds kind of weird, but I think for the most part his laugh is a pretty cool, overpowering demon laugh. And I also really like because if you heard in his audio, there's steam sounds that happen, and that is when the fog erupts from his horns, is whenever those sounds happen. So that's really cool, but also he's got a lot of background screaming and stuff in his audio, which I think is really awesome and pretty dark, as it is obviously the tormented souls in hell, which is really cool. And one of the reasons I really like this guy, because he's just the ultimate demon animatronic, and like I mentioned before, possibly one of the best ones we've ever seen, if not the best one we've ever seen in retail. He is a really cool animatronic. He does cost $270. Of course, you can use a coupon on him and get it a little bit lower. However, I feel like he could have been cheaper. I feel like $250 would have been more reasonable for him. $270 is a little high considering he only has 2 animations, though kind of understandable because he also has those cool lighting effects and he's got the fog that shoots out of the horns. Of course, you got to have the fog machines sold separately, but usually the fog compatibility does up the price on animatronics because they have to have the fog cord, they have to come with the tube, they got to come with all that stuff, and so it usually ups the price a little bit. Overall though, great animatronic. If you like demons, if you like hell type props, if you're really looking for a cool, solid devil that I feel like will really wow people, because a lot of the demons that we've seen are really awesome, but they're not really wow factor awesome. They're just cool props. But I feel like this guy's a nice wow factor one, because when people see him and see that flame effect, and more particularly see the fog shooting out of his horns, I feel like that's really gonna shock some people and make them be like, wow, that's really cool. He also is pretty scary. I mean, just his overall appearance is scary, but also the fact he's really big. So take with that what you will. Use him in a dark lighted area, in a haunt or a display. I feel like he could really be a pretty scary animatronic overall. Anyways, Gizmo, stop! Anyways, I highly recommend him if you're into this type of thing like I am. Definitely a purchase that I do not regret, as I know I will get many uses out of this guy because he is super cool. I hope you all enjoyed. Keep howling at the moon, my werewolves.